Okay, good morning and happy Sabbath to all. And at this time, we will talk about Christmas season. So, sisters, as I said, the meaning about Merry Christmas, what was it means. And my part now is all about its origin. Where did it came from? So, at first, people might think that Christmas was the birth of Christ. So we will find out in the Bible if it was the birth of Christ or Christ was really born at the winter season. Because December 25th is a winter season. And we will find out in the Bible if Jesus was born on winter season. And people might think that Christmas is a celebration of life or a time to give and give unto others. And in fact, we can give any time, not only on Christmas season. So that's why during September, in the month of beer, September, October, November, and December, people would ask their gift, a Christmas gift. Oh, no, so far, wala pa ko kadawat og Christmas gift. Okay, dili man ta mo celebrate pod. But specifically or sa atong nahibawan is we can give anytime, not only on Christmas season or on December 25th or on the month of beer. We can give anytime to our neighbor. So, what actually is December, origin of December 25th? So, according to this pagan origin, December 25th has its origin called the Latin word Natalis Invicti Solis. What was the meaning of Natalis Invicti Solis in the Latin word, which is it's originated December 25th. Natalis Invicti Solis is a derivation called the unconquered sun, or it was the undefeated sun. S-U-N. So, why did they call this December 25th the unconquered sun? Because this is the birth of Mithra, the sun god of pagan nation or the cult. So, actually, December 25th will in fact has its origin Natalis Invicti Solis, or the birth of Mithra, the sun god. So now we would move on to the Bible. If Jesus was actually born on December 25th or in the winter time. So let us look in the Bible, Luke chapter 2, verse 1 to 8. So we will read this passage. And it came to pass, verse 1, in those days that there went out a decree from Caesar Augustus that all the world should be taxed. And this taxing was first made when Cyrenius was governor of Syria. And all went to be taxed, everyone into his own city. And Joseph also went up from Galilee out of the city of Nazareth into Judea, unto the city of David, which is called Bethlehem, because it was prophesied that the Messiah or the Christ was to be born on Bethlehem or in the city of David, because he was of the house and lineage of David. So verse 5, to be taxed with Mary his espoused wife, being great with child. And so it was that while they were there, the days were accomplished that she should be delivered or to give birth the Son, Jesus Christ. In verse 7, and she brought forth his firstborn son, which is Jesus Christ, and wrapped him in swaddling clothes and laid him in a manger, because there was no room for them in the inn. Verse 8, and there were in the same country shepherds abiding in the field, keeping watch over their flock by night. So it is clear in the Bible that Jesus was born when the country shepherds was keep on watching on their flock in the field. in Bethlehem during winter time, their flocks are in a manger to protect them from cold or to protect them from winter season. And in this time, the Bible is clearly says that the country shepherds at this time was keeping and watching their flock in the field. So we can say that this time when Jesus was born, it is a springtime. And the springtime in Bethlehem was held on the month of March, April, and May. So it is not on December. So why did they supposedly December 25th as the birth of Christ? Did the Bible say the exact date of the birth of Christ? No, but it is only a season. And in fact, it is a spring season and not on winter season and not in December. So, well, in fact, December 25th has its origin, the birth of Mithra, not the birth of Christ. The birth of Mithra, which is in Latin word, Natalis Invicti Solis, or its derivation, the birthday of unconquered sun. Not S-O-N, the sun, but the unconquered sun, S-U-N. So it is a celebration of sun god, not the birth of Christ. And now, aside from the birthday of Mithra, the unconquered sun, who is actually born also on December 25th, according to history. So, in fact, we can see in history that December 25th was also the birthday of Tammuz. Aside from Mithra, the birth of Tammuz. And Tammuz was the son of Nimrod, and his mother was Semiramis. Now, Semiramis was proclaimed that his son is born on December 25th, and to be followed by his father Nimrod, Semiramis called it Semiramis declared that Tammuz was a return or rebirth of his father Nimrod. So if you say that Tammuz is a return or rebirth of his father Nimrod, so it is called reincarnation. So the reincarnation was actually originated at the time also, when Semiramis declared that Tammuz is a rebirth of his father. And Tammuz was born on December 25th. So if you celebrated December 25th, you celebrated the birth of Tammuz and not the birth of Christ. And if you celebrated December 25th as the birth of Tammuz, then you are also Nimrod's follower. Why? Because Tammuz was the son of Nimrod, and Semiramis proclaimed it and declared it to be the reincarnation of his father Nimrod. So when you celebrate December 25th as the birth, or they say Christmas Day, actually you celebrated the birth of Tammuz, which is the reincarnation of his father Nimrod. And guess what? Nimrod was a leader of the Tower of Babel. In Genesis chapter 10, we would summary these verses. In Genesis chapter 10, verse 8 to 9, it says here, "And Cos begat Nimrod. He began to be a mighty one in the earth." In verse 10, "And the beginning of his kingdom was Babel." And we will talk about the Tower of Babel in Genesis chapter 11, verse 4, of what happened to the Tower of Babel, which Nimrod led on this. "And they said, Go to, let us build a city and a tower, whose top may reach unto heaven." Genesis 11, verse 4. "And let us make us a name, lest we be scattered abroad upon the face of the whole earth. And the Lord came down to see the city and the tower which the children of men builded." In verse 6. "And the Lord said, Behold, the people is one, and they have all one language, and this they begin to do. And now nothing will be restrained from them. which they have imagined to do. Go, let us go down. In verse 7, go, let us go down and there confound their language, that they may not understand one another's speech. In verse 8, so the Lord scattered them abroad from thence upon the face of all the earth, and they let off to build the city. Therefore is the name of it called Babel. So ang tawag dyan, kaning kalibog, confusion, or the kaning nagkasagol-sagol na ang mga language, mixing languages so that they will not understand each other. That's why here in our earth, there is Hapon or Japanese, there is Chinese, there is pure American language, there is French, there is Cebuano, there is Ilonggo, na Tagalog. So, what is the history of that? In this, the Tower of Babel, God confound their language so that they cannot understand of what they say. Because of their unbelief. And the leader of it is Nimrod, which is then his son Tammuz, born on December 25th. And Semiramis, his mother, proclaimed that this December 25th was the reincarnation of the father of Tammuz, which is Nimrod. So if you celebrated December 25th as Christmas Day, you are a follower of Nimrod or the supporters of Nimrod. And in fact, in history, it is being proclaimed that December 25th has been celebrated by the supporters of Nimrod. So if we follow this December 25th, we are also the followers of Nimrod. And the question now, my last question is, why is it that this pagan celebration or pagan origin became its Christianity into its Christmas Day? So let us find in the history. This is my last part. So it says in this paragraph, the church in Rome began formally celebrating Christmas on December 25th. During the reign of the Emperor Constantine, as Constantine had made Christianity the effective religion of the empire, some have speculated that choosing this date had the political motive of weakening the established pagan celebration. So it is clearly says that this December 25th, the Christmas Day, was its origin as a pagan celebration, or as we study the birth of Mithra and the birth of Tammuz, which is celebrated by the cult or the pagan tradition. And now, in order this pagan tradition to be part of Christianity movement, Emperor Constantine moved it as a Christmas Day to be Christian. The word Christ means Christian, and their pagan celebration defined it as Christmas Day in order to be Christianity. So that's the real meaning, or that's the truth about celebration of Christmas Day. That is not the birth of Christ, because Christ was born on springtime and not on winter time. Christ was born in the month, maybe in the month of March, April, and May, and not on December. So, and that's all. Be not deceived. We should be not deceived by this pagan custom and traditions, because we clearly see that this Christmas Day, December 25th, was not the birth of Christ, but the birth of Mithra, the unconquered sun, or Natalis Invictus Solis in Latin word, and the birth of Tammuz, the reincarnation of Nimrod. And that's all. Thank you.